Hey everyone, tonight I'm standing on my front porch, the air thick with the stench of burnt grass and the distant wail of a police siren cutting through the dusk. My hands tremble not from fear, but from the kind of rage that makes your blood feel like it's boiling under your skin. Across the lawn, my neighbor Karen's silhouette looms in her window, her smug grin visible even from here, taunting me. She thinks she's won. She thinks her venomous words, "Your kind ruins property," value have broken me. But I'm about to turn her world upside down. You probably wouldn't last a week living next to someone like this. So before you settle in, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe, but only if you actually want more raw stories like this. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're listening from, and if you've ever had a nightmare neighbor. Now take a deep breath, because here's everything you never knew about the war I survived on my own front lawn. It started 6 months ago on a humid Saturday morning. I'm watering my roses, the ones my mom planted before she passed, when Karen struts over her designer sunglasses perched like a crown. Her husband Greg trails behind, clutching a golf club like it's a weapon. "You need to fix that eyesore of a fence," she snaps, pointing at the weathered wood I've been saving to replace. I bite my tongue, explaining I'm waiting on a contractor. That's when she says it, her words sharp as a blade. "Your kind ruins property value." I freeze the hose, slipping from my hand, water pooling at my feet. Greg smirks and they turn away, leaving me gut-punched. My kind, I'm a single mom. A nurse who bought this house with every penny I had. I'm not just anyone. I'm me. That night, I can't sleep. Her words loop in my head, each syllable a fresh wound. I pace my kitchen, the clock ticking past 2 a.m., the fridge humming like it's mocking my helplessness. I think about my daughter Lily asleep upstairs, how I promised her a safe home. Karen's voice creeps in again, and something snaps. I'm done being her punching bag. I sit at the table, open my laptop, and start typing. An idea forms, wild and reckless, a daycare right next door. Not just any daycare, a top-rated bustling one that'll drive her insane. She hates kids, calls them noisy brats at HOA meetings. I smile for the first time in hours. This is my revenge. The next morning, I'm a woman possessed. I call my friend Sarah, a small business consultant, and spill the plan. She laughs, thinking I'm joking, but when I don't laugh back, she gets serious. "You'll need licensing, zoning approval, and a ton of cash," she warns. I don't care. I've got savings, a nursing degree, and a fire in my gut. I spend the day researching printing regulations, sketching layouts. By evening, my dining table is a war room covered in papers and coffee mugs. Lily wanders in, rubbing her eyes. "Mom, what's all this?" she asks. I pull her onto my lap, promising, "Something to make us proud." Karen's first attack comes a week later. I'm in my yard measuring for the daycare's play area when a rotten egg smacks my mailbox yoke, oozing down the metal. I hear her cackle from her porch. My heart pounds, but I don't react. I wipe it off my jaw tight and keep measuring. She wants a war. She's got one. I file for permits the next day, my application pristine. The clerk raises an eyebrow but stamps it. Step 1 done. The HOA meeting is where it escalates. I'm there clutching my daycare proposal when Karen stands up, her voice syrupy with fake concern. "A daycare will ruin our peaceful community," she says, eyeing me. The room murmurs. I stand, my voice steady but burning. "It's my property, and I'm creating jobs." She scoffs, but I see cracks in her facade, her hands fidget. I leave that meeting with allies, neighbors who nod at me, tired of her reign. That night I nod back at her house, my plan locked in. I'm opening that daycare, and she'll choke on her own words. But Karen doesn't quit. The next morning, I find my roses, Mom's roses, hacked to stumps. I kneel in the dirt, tears stinging my eyes, the smell of sap and ruin choking me. Lily runs out gasping, Who did this? I know who. I could scream, could storm her house, but I don't. I hug Lily, whispering, "We're stronger than this." That's my moment of change. I'm not just fighting for me anymore. It's for Lily, for Mom's memory, for every underdog Karen's crushed. I stand, brush off the dirt, and head inside to call the contractor. The daycare's coming, and it'll be a beacon of everything she hates. By week's end, I've got a zoning hearing scheduled. Karen's car peels out as I tape the public notice to my mailbox. Good. Let her sweat. I'm not just nodding anymore. I'm building an empire next door, and she's about to learn what my kind can do. The air feels heavier now, like the neighborhood itself is holding its breath, waiting for the next bomb to drop. I'm in my kitchen scrubbing dishes so hard the sponge frays when I hear it. Karen's voice, shrill and mocking, drifting through my open window. That woman's delusional if she thinks we'll let her ruin the street she's saying loud enough for me to hear, probably on purpose. Greg's low chuckle follows, and I slam a plate into the rack, my knuckles white. It's been 2 weeks since the HOA meeting, and Karen's turned our cul-de-sac into her personal battlefield. Every day it's something new glares as I mow my lawn, snide comments about my trashy car. Even a petition she's circulating to preserve property values. I'm not just fighting for my daycare anymore. I'm fighting to exist in my own home. But tonight at the next HOA meeting, I'm done playing nice. I'm about to show her I can bite back. Her campaign against me has been relentless. Last Monday, I found dog feces smeared on my front door handle, the stench so vile I gagged while scrubbing it off with bleach. Lily saw me, her eyes wide, and I lied, saying it was an accident. I know it was Karen, her yappy terrier's been her weapon before. Then there's the anonymous note in my mailbox typed in all caps, "Get out or else." I kept it taped to my fridge as fuel. My neighbors whisper about her now, some siding with her, others too scared to cross her. She's the queen of this street, and I'm the peasant daring to challenge her crown. But I'm not backing down. My daycare permits are under review, and I've got a contractor breaking ground next week. She can't stop me, but she's sure trying. The worst comes on Thursday. I'm walking Lily to the bus stop when Karen's SUV screeches up beside us. She rolls down her window, her lipstick smeared like she applied it in a rage. "You're a disgrace," she hisses loud enough for the other parents to turn. "This neighborhood doesn't need your kind or your screaming kids." Lily clutches my hand, trembling. I want to scream, to drag Karen out of that car. But I kneel, kiss Lily's forehead, and whisper. She's just loud, not strong. I stand, locking eyes with Karen. You don't get to decide who belongs here. I say, my voice low but steel. She peels off tires, squealing, and I feel the shift. She's not untouchable. I'm not invisible. That moment lights a fire for tonight's HOA meeting. I spend the day preparing my dining table a war zone of notes and zoning laws. I'm not just defending my daycare. I'm exposing Karen's reign of terror. By evening, I'm in a navy blazer, hair pulled back, walking into the community center like I'm marching to war. The room's packed, the air thick with tension. Karen's at the front, whispering to the HOA president, a spineless guy named Ron who nods like her puppet. I take my seat, my heart pounding, clutching my folder of evidence photos of the dog poop, the note, my hacked roses. This is my stand. When my turn comes, I walk to the podium, every eye on me. Karen smirks, thinking she's got me cornered. I start calm, laying out my daycare's benefits, jobs, community, a safe space for kids. Then I pivot, my voice rising. But let's talk about what really threatens this neighborhood: bullying, harassment, vandalism. I hold up the photos, describe the feces, the note, the roses. The room gasps. Karen's face pales, her hands gripping her purse. This isn't about property values, I say, staring her down. It's about someone thinking they own us all. I point to the anonymous note. I wonder who'd write something like this. The room erupts in murmurs. Ron stammers, trying to regain control, but I've cracked her armor. Her blowback is instant. She leaps up, shrieking, "You're lying! You're the problem!" Her voice cracks, betraying her. Greg tugs her arm, but she's unraveling, accusing me of fabricating evidence. The crowd shifts some glare at her now, others whisper. I don't flinch. I sit, my pulse racing as Ron adjourns the meeting in chaos. Outside, two neighbors, Maria and Tom, approach me. "We're with you," Maria says. She's gone too far. That's my moment of change. I'm not alone anymore. I've drawn blood, and Karen's not invincible. As I walk home, the streetlights buzz, casting long shadows. Karen's house is dark, but I know she's watching. She thinks this is over. She's wrong. I'm building my daycare, and tonight I've built something else, a spark of rebellion in this neighborhood. Let her come for me. I'm ready. The morning after the HOA meeting, I wake with a fire in my chest, the kind that makes you feel invincible and terrified all at once. My kitchen smells of burnt coffee, the pot left on too long, while I replay Karen's meltdown in my head, her shrieking her pale face as the room turned against her. I'm winning, but I know she's not done. I'm at my dining table now, a permanent command center surrounded by daycare blueprints and permit applications. My plans taking shape, a top-rated daycare, a middle finger to Karen's hate. But as I sketch the playground layout, I hear a crash outside, sharp and deliberate. My heart lurches. She's struck again, and this time it's personal. I'm about to learn just how low she'll go, but it's only stealing my resolve to bury her with my success. Karen's harassment has been a daily siege since the meeting. Monday, I found my car's tires slashed, the rubber sagging into the driveway like deflated dreams. I called the police, but with no proof, they just took a report and left. Tuesday, it was garbage, rotting fish heads, and coffee grounds dumped over my fence, the stench clinging to my backyard. Lily gagged, asking, "Why does she hate us?" I hugged her, my voice steady, but my insides churning. She's scared of us, baby. I didn't tell her I'm scared too, not of Karen, but of what I might do if she pushes me too far. Every attack fuels my daycare plan. I'm not just building a business, I'm building a fortress. Today's attack is worse. I rush outside, the morning air crisp, and find my mailbox smashed, splinters of wood scattered across the lawn. But it's not just the mailbox. There's a note pinned to the wreckage, written in red marker. Your kids will suffer. My blood runs cold. This isn't about property values anymore. It's a threat to Lily, to the kids I'll care for. I rip the note down my hands, shaking the paper, crinkling in my fist. I want to storm Karen's house, scream in her face, but I stop myself. She wants me to break. I won't. I shove the note in my pocket, grab my phone, and call Sarah. "She's threatening kids now," I say, my voice low. Sarah's silent. Then, "You need to document everything and keep going." She's right. This is war, and I'm arming myself. I spend the day in a frenzy, channeling my rage into the daycare. I meet with a contractor, Mike, at a coffee shop, the air thick with espresso and possibility. He's burly with a no-nonsense vibe, and he loves the idea of sticking it to Karen. "I've dealt with her type," he says, grinning. We finalize plans, a bright 2-story building with a fenced playground, all within code. I hand over my savings, my stomach twisting as the check clears. This is everything I have, but it's worth it. Back home, I draft a business plan, my laptop screen glowing late into the night. I'm naming it Sunflower Daycare, after Mom's favorite flower, a nod to the roses Karen destroyed. It's personal now. The climactic blow comes that evening. I'm in the backyard, staking out the playground area, when Karen's voice cuts through the dusk. "You're pathetic!" she yells from her porch, holding a glass of wine like a prop. "No one wants your little project." I turn, my hammer in hand, and see her terrier barking wildly. That's when I notice it paint cans by her garage red paint dripping from one. The same red as the note. My pulse races. I could confront her now, but I don't. I smile slow and deliberate and say, "We'll see who's pathetic when my daycare's full." Her face twists and she storms inside. That's my moment of power. I've got her number and she doesn't even know it. I head inside, my mind racing. The note's in my desk drawer now, next to photos of the tires, the garbage, the roses. Evidence. I'm building a case, but more than that, I'm building a legacy. I call the zoning board, confirm my hearings next week. They sound impressed by my prep. Good. I'm not just some nurse anymore. I'm a force. Lily wanders in holding a drawing of a sunflower. "For your daycare," she says. I hug her tears, pricking my eyes. This is why I'm fighting. Not just for revenge, but for her, for us. As I tuck Lily in, I glance out her window. Karen's house is lit up, her silhouette pacing. She's rattled. I'm not the same woman who nodded at her insults months ago. I'm a storm now, and Sunflower Daycare is my lightning. Let her try to stop me. I'm ready for her next move, and when it comes, I'll be one step ahead. The sun blazes down on my front yard, glinting off the new sign that reads Sunflower Daycare. Now open in bold, cheerful letters. It's been 3 months since that red marker threat, and today my revenge is alive. A gleaming daycare packed with giggling kids, their laughter echoing like a direct hit to Karen's smug empire. I'm on the porch watching parents drop off their children, my chest swelling with pride. The building's perfect bright yellow walls, a rainbow mural, a playground buzzing with energy. My savings are gone, but the place is already booked solid with a waiting list. I've done it. I'm not just surviving Karen, I'm thriving. But as I wave to a mom, I catch Karen's glare from her window, her curtains twitching. She's not done, and her next move, a sinister complaint, threatens to rip my victory apart. The past months were a blur of hustle. After the zoning hearing, where I presented my airtight plan and won approval despite Karen's hissed objections, construction flew. Mike, my contractor, worked miracles, finishing early. I hired staff, trained them, got licensed. Every step, Karen tried to sabotage me. She called the city claiming my permits were fraudulent. They checked. I was clean. She spread rumors saying I was unfit to run a daycare. Parents ignored her, drawn to my nursing background and the daycare's warm vibe. Her attacks only made me sharper, hungrier. But I knew she'd escalate. She always does. Opening day is electric. At 7 a.m., I unlock the doors, the smell of fresh paint and new carpets filling my lungs. Kids stream in, clutching backpacks, their parents beaming. Maria, my ally from the HOA meeting, enrolls her son, whispering, "You're a hero." By noon, the place hums, crayons scratching blocks, clattering, my staff singing Wheels on the Bus. I'm in the office checking schedules when my phone buzzes. It's the health department. My stomach drops. We received a complaint, the inspector says. Allegations of unsanitary conditions. We're coming tomorrow. I know it's Karen. Her house is silent today, too silent, like a predator waiting to pounce. That night, I barely sleep, my mind racing. The complaint's a lie, but a bad inspection could shut me down. I'm up at 4 a.m., scrubbing every surface, checking food storage, triple-checking records. My staff arrives, and I rally them, my voice firm but cracking. "We're perfect, and we'll prove it." They nod loyal, but I see their worry. At 9 a.m., the inspector arrives, a stern woman with a clipboard. Karen's on her porch pretending to water plants, her smirk a knife in my gut. The inspector's thorough checking sinks toys, even the playground. I follow, heart-pounding, explaining our protocols. She's quiet, jotting notes. I'm sweating, the air thick with Lysol and dread. Then a scream pierces the yard. I sprint outside, the inspector behind me. One of the kids, Timmy, is crying, pointing at a pile of broken glass near the slide. My blood boils. It wasn't there yesterday. I lock eyes with Karen across the fence. Her face is blank, but her hands fidget. She did this. I scoop Timmy up, soothing him, and direct my staff to cordon off the area. The inspector frowns, writing furiously. "This is a safety hazard," she says. I want to scream that it's sabotage, but I stay calm, promising to investigate. She finishes her rounds and leaves, saying, "You'll hear from us." I'm shaking, rage and fear colliding. That's my moment of change. I realize Karen's not just fighting me, she's endangering kids. This isn't a game anymore. I call Mike, ask him to install security cameras tonight. "On it," he says. Then I march to Karen's house, my pulse a drumbeat. She opens the door, feigning surprise. "What now?" she sneers. I step close, my voice low. "If you ever put a child in danger again, you'll regret it." Her eyes flicker, but she slams the door. I walk back, my resolve hardening. I'm not just protecting my daycare, I'm protecting my community. By evening, the cameras are up, their red lights, blinking like sentinels. Parents pick up their kids none the wiser, but I'm on edge. I check on Timmy. He's fine, just shaken. Lily runs over, hugging me. "You're doing great, Mom." Her words steady me. Karen's complaint might hurt, but I'm not crumbling. I've built something unstoppable, and she's about to learn what happens when you poke a lion. The war's not over, but today I'm still standing, and Sunflower Daycare is shining. The daycare's playground is quiet now, the swings creaking in the evening breeze, but my heart's still racing from this morning's chaos. I'm in my office, the fluorescent light buzzing like a warning, staring at the security footage Mike installed last night. The health inspector's visit left me rattled. Karen's complaint about unsanitary conditions hangs over me like a guillotine. But what I'm about to find on these cameras changes everything. Her sabotage has gone too far, endangering my kids, my dream, my life. I'm gripping my coffee mug so tight it might crack, the bitter scent grounding me as I brace for what's coming. Karen thinks she's untouchable, but this time she's left a trail, and I'm about to turn her game against her. The past week has been a gauntlet. Since the glass incident, parents have been on edge, whispering about safety. I've reassured them, doubled staff vigilance, but Karen's complaint to the health department has teeth. A failed inspection could revoke my license. I've been meticulous, spotless kitchens, impeccable records, but her lies are relentless. She's been quieter since I confronted her at her door, but that silence feels like the calm before a storm. Yesterday, I caught her loitering near my fence. Her phone out, probably snapping photos to twist into more complaints. I've kept the cameras rolling, their footage my only shield. This morning, the real blow lands. I'm checking the playground before opening the grass damp with dew, when I spotted a pile of rusted nails scattered near the sandbox. My breath catches. A kid could have stepped on them, been hospitalized. My vision blurs with rage, the metallic tang of fear in my mouth. I glove up, collect the nails, and bag them, my hands trembling. This isn't just vandalism, it's malice. I rush to my office, pull up the footage from 2 a.m. The screen flickers. Then there she is, Karen in a hoodie, creeping into my yard. She glances around, then dumps the nails, her movements deliberate. My stomach twists. It's proof undeniable, but it's also a gut punch. She's not just fighting me, she's willing to hurt kids to win. That's the conflict, raw and ugly. I save the footage, burn it to a USB, and call Sarah. "She's done?" I say, my voice shaking. Sarah's calm, strategic. "Take it to the police, but be smart. Show the parents too." I nod, my mind racing. This is my weapon, but I need to wield it right. I call an emergency parent meeting for tonight. My staff prepping the daycare's community room. The air smells of crayons and anxiety as I set up a projector. I'm not just defending Sunflower Daycare. I'm exposing a monster. The meeting is my climactic action. Parents file in, their faces tense. Maria, Tom, others who've backed me, and a few. Karen's swayed with her rumors. I stand, my voice steady despite the knot in my gut. I know you're worried about safety. I start projecting the footage. Gasps ripple through the room as Karen's hooded figure appears, scattering nails. This is who's threatening our kids, I say, pointing at the screen. The room erupts anger disbelief. Maria slams her fist on the table. She's unhinged. A dad usually quiet demands, "Where's the police?" I hold up the USB. They're next. Karen's allies shrink in their seats, her influence crumbling. I feel it, the power shifting like a tide turning in my favor, but Karen's blowback is swift. By noon, a cop car pulls up and my heart sinks. Karen's filed a counter-complaint claiming I planted the nails to frame her. The officer, a tired guy named Daniels, watches the footage in my office, his face unreadable. Looks clear, but she's saying you had access to the cameras, he says. I'm floored, my rage spiking. She's lying, I snap, showing him the bag of nails, the time-stamped footage. He nods, takes the USB, but warns, this'll take time to sort out. I'm shaking as he leaves the daycare's laughter outside, mocking my dread. She's turned my evidence into a trap. That's my moment of change. I realize this fight isn't just about winning, it's about surviving her lies. I'm not just a victim anymore. I'm a strategist. I call Mike, ask for more cameras, hidden ones. I text Sarah, plan a meeting with a lawyer. I'm building a case brick by brick, and Karen's desperation is her weakness. As I tuck Lily in her eyes, searching mine, I whisper, we're okay, but I'm not sure. Karen's house is dark tonight, but I feel her plotting. She's cornered, and that makes her dangerous. I'm not stopping, though. Sunflower Daycare's still open, and I'm still fighting for Lily, for the kids, for me. The daycare's community room smells of coffee and tension. The fluorescent lights casting harsh shadows on the faces of my new allies, Maria, Tom, and a handful of parents who've had enough of Karen's reign. It's been 2 days since I showed the footage of her dumping nails, and the neighborhood's buzzing like a kicked hornet's nest. I'm standing at the front, my hands steady, but my heart pounding as we plan our next move. The police are investigating, but Karen's counter-complaint claiming I framed her has muddied the waters. I'm not just fighting for Sunflower Daycare anymore. I'm fighting for my name, my daughter, my life. Tonight, we're forging a resistance, but Karen's about to crash our meeting with a showdown that exposes her desperation and pushes me to the edge. The past days have been a pressure cooker. Since Karen's stunt at the parent meeting, my allies, Maria, Tom, and the others, have doubled down. Tom's digging into Karen's past, promising dirt by tomorrow. Maria's petition to censure Karen has 30 signatures, but the HOA's ignoring it. Karen's been quiet, no new pranks, but her silence is a blade held to my throat. Parents at the daycare are rattled. 2 more pulled their kids after the arson claim, whispering about instability. I've kept the place running, cameras rolling, but every creak of the floorboards makes me jump. Lily's noticed, asking, "Are we in trouble?" "Mom?" I force a smile, but my heart's splintering. I'm fighting for her future, and I'm losing ground. That moment comes tonight. We're mid-meeting, Maria outlining a lawyer's advice to sue Karen for defamation when the door slams open. Karen storms in, Greg trailing like a shadow, her face a mask of fury. The room freezes, the air thick with her perfume and malice. "You're all pathetic," she spits, pointing at me. "This liar's brainwashing you." My pulse spikes, but I stand, meeting her glare. "You're the one caught on camera," I say, my voice ice. She laughs shrill and pulls out her phone, waving a photo of my mailbox smashed from months ago. "She's violent. She did this to frame me." The parents murmur, doubt flickering. I'm stunned. She's twisting my own pain against me. The conflict explodes. Maria leaps up, shouting, "You're a bully!" "Karen." Tom slams his laptop shut, his face red, but Karen's unhinged, turning to the parents. "You trust her with your kids? She's a nurse, probably stealing drugs. That's it." I step forward inches from her, my voice low but lethal. "You threaten kids, you lie, you poison this street. We're done with you." The room roars, parents clapping, some yelling. Greg tugs her arm, but she's shaking, her eyes wild. "You'll regret this," she hisses, then storms out the door, banging shut. The silence is deafening, but I feel it, the tide's turned. She's not a queen anymore. She's a cornered animal. That's my climactic action. I seize the moment, rallying the room. "We're stronger than her," I say, my voice rising. "Sign the petition. Spread the word. We're taking our neighborhood back." Hands shoot up, parents pledging support. Maria hugs me, tears in her eyes. Tom offers to dig into Karen's past public records, anything to expose her. I nod, my chest tight with hope and dread. We're a team now, but I know Karen's not done. Her desperation's a warning. She's reckless, dangerous. The blowback hits hours later. I'm locking up the daycare, the night air cool, when I hear sirens. My stomach drops. A fire truck screeches into the cul-de-sac, lights flashing, stopping at Karen's house. I run over, joining neighbors on the sidewalk. Karen's outside, sobbing theatrically to a firefighter pointing at my daycare. "She tried to burn our garage," she cries. My jaw drops. The firefighter shows me a singed rag near her fence, reeking of gasoline. "Know anything about this?" he asks. I'm shaking, rage and fear colliding. "She's lying," I say, but my voice cracks. The crowd whispers, some eyeing me. Karen's playing victim, and it's working. That's my moment of change. I realize this fight's bigger than me. It's about truth, not just revenge. I'm not just defending my daycare. I'm defending my integrity. I call Sarah, my voice steady despite the chaos. "We need that lawyer now." I text Tom, ask him to pull records. I'm not reacting anymore. I'm strategizing. As I walk home, Lily's asleep, unaware of the sirens. I check the cameras, nothing yet, but I know Karen's escalating. Her house glows across the lawn, a fortress of lies. I'm not scared anymore. I'm ready, and with my allies, I'm unstoppable. The morning sun barely cuts through the fog blanketing our cul-de-sac, but the weight of last night's chaos, Karen's fake arson accusation, and the fire truck's flashing lights hangs heavier than the mist. I'm in my kitchen, the smell of burnt toast sharp in my nose, staring at an email from the HOA that just landed in my inbox. It's a formal notice: cold and final cease sunflower daycare operations within 48 hours due to safety concerns. My hands shake, coffee splashing on the counter. Karen's lies have infected the HOA, and they're siding with her, threatening to crush everything I've built. I'm not just fighting a toxic neighbor anymore. I'm up against a system rigged to protect her. But as I pace, rage turning to resolve, I uncover a secret that could blow her world apart. The past days have been a relentless storm. Since Karen's stunt at the parent meeting, my allies, Maria, Tom, and the others have doubled down. Tom's digging into Karen's past, promising dirt by tomorrow. Maria's petition to censure Karen has 30 signatures, but the HOA's ignoring it. Karen's been quiet, no new pranks, but her silence is a blade held to my throat. Parents at the daycare are rattled. 2 more pulled their kids after the arson claim, whispering about instability. I've kept the place running, cameras rolling, but every creak of the floorboards makes me jump. Lily's noticed, asking, "Are we in trouble?" "Mom?" I force a smile, but my heart's splintering. I'm fighting for her future, and I'm losing ground. The HOA's ultimatum is the breaking point. The email signed by Ron, the spineless president, cites community complaints and recent incidents as justification. I know it's Karen's doing: her arson lie, her health department complaint, her endless rumors. I slam my laptop shut, the sound echoing like a gunshot. I want to scream, to march to Ron's house and demand answers, but I breathe slow and deliberate. Rage won't win this. I call Sarah, my voice tight. They're shutting me down. She's furious but strategic. Check their bylaws. HOAs bleed corruption. Her words spark something. I grab the HOA handbook, its pages dog-eared, and start reading my pen, scratching notes like a battle plan. That's when the conflict ignites. I drive to the community center for an emergency HOA meeting, the air thick with tension and the faint smell of stale coffee. The room's packed neighbors whispering Karen front and center, her smile venomous. Ron drones about protecting property values, but I'm done listening. I stand, clutching my notes, and interrupt. This is a witch hunt, I say, my voice cutting through the murmurs. The daycare's legal, licensed, and safe. Where's the evidence? Ron stammers, but Karen leaps up, pointing. You're a danger. Arson nails vandalism. The crowd shifts, some nodding with her. I'm shaking, but I hold up the handbook. Your own bylaws require transparency. Show us the complaints. The room goes silent. Ron's face reddens, and I know I've hit a nerve. The climactic action is my strike. I pivot, addressing the crowd. I have footage proving Karen's sabotage nails, glass lies. Where's her proof against me? I pull out my phone, playing the nail-dumping clip. Gasps ripple through the room. Karen shrieks. It's fake, but her voice cracks. I don't stop. Ron wise the HOA, ignoring my evidence but fast-tracking her lies. The crowd murmurs, eyes on Ron. He adjourns the meeting, fleeing, but I've planted doubt. Outside, Maria hugs me, whispering, You're unstoppable. But Karen's glare burns into me, promising retaliation. The blowback comes that night. I'm home. Lily asleep when Tom texts, found something big. He's at my door, in minutes, laptop open, showing me records Karen's been paying Ron under the table, documented in leaked emails. My jaw drops. It's bribery, the HOA's dirty secret. She's buying influence, Tom says. My pulse races. This is my weapon, but it's a grenade. Exposing it could destroy the HOA, maybe my case too. I'm torn, the weight of the truth crushing me. That's my moment of change. I realize this fight's not just about my daycare, it's about justice. I'm not just a mom or a nurse. I'm a reckoning. I save the emails, call Sarah for legal advice. File a complaint with the state, she says. I nod, my resolve iron. Karen's house is dark, but I feel her scheming. She thinks she's won with the HOA's muscle. She's wrong. I've got her secret, and I'm about to light the fuse. The war's not over, but I'm armed now, and I'm coming for her. The air in my living room is thick with the scent of ink and paper, my dining table buried under printouts of Tom's leaked emails, proof that Karen's been bribing Ron to weaponize the HOA against me. It's been 4 hours since I called her out at the meeting, and the neighborhood's a powder keg, whispers of corruption spreading like wildfire. I'm pacing my sneakers, squeaking on the hardwood, clutching my phone as I wait for Sarah's lawyer to confirm our next move. The HOA's ultimatum to shut down Sunflower Daycare looms, but I'm about to detonate Karen's lies in a public spectacle that'll leave her reeling. My heart's a drum pounding with defiance, but her reckless counterattack, a stunt so dangerous it risks lives, pushes this war to a deadly edge. The past day has been a blur of strategy. After Tom's bombshell, I met with Sarah and a lawyer, Carla, who's a shark in a pantsuit. She's filing a state complaint against the HOA, using the emails as evidence of bribery. Maria's petition now has 50 signatures, and parents are flooding my inbox pledging to keep their kids enrolled. But Karen's not silent. She's posted on the neighborhood app calling me a liar and menace, claiming the emails are forged. Some neighbors believe her. Others are done with her games. Yesterday, I caught her glaring from her porch as I checked the daycare's cameras, her eyes like daggers. I know she's planning something big. I just don't know what. The conflict erupts at the town hall meeting I've organized with Maria's help. It's 7 p.m. The community center packed the air, buzzing with sweat and anticipation. I'm at the podium, my voice steady but electric, holding up the printed emails. Karen bribed Ron to target my daycare, I say, projecting the documents on a screen. The crowd gasps, neighbors leaning forward. This isn't about property values, it's about power. I play the nail-dumping footage again, then the glass incident, each clip a hammer to Karen's facade. Maria stands, rallying the crowd. We demand an HOA audit. Cheers erupt. Karen's in the back, face twisted, Greg whispering in her ear. I've got her cornered and it feels like victory. That's my climactic action, the public exposure. I push further, reading an email where Karen promises Ron $5,000 to handle me. The room roars, neighbors shouting at Ron, who's absent, cowering somewhere. Karen bolts up, shrieking, "It's all lies, she's framing me," but her voice drowns in boos. I lock eyes with her, my smile cold. The truth's out, Karen. You're done. She storms out the crowd, parting like she's toxic. Parents clap my back. Maria hugs me, and Tom nods, his laptop ready to leak the emails wider. I'm on fire, unstoppable, the daycare's future within reach. But her blowback is catastrophic. At midnight, I'm jolted awake by a deafening crash, glass shattering somewhere close. I leap from bed, heart hammering, and run to Lily's room. She's safe, curled under her blanket. Outside, red and blue lights flash, sirens wailing. I sprint to the daycare, the night air biting my skin, and find chaos. The front windows, smashed shards glittering on the lawn, and a brick lies in the rubble, spray-painted with liar. Worse, the sprinkler systems triggered, flooding the classrooms, books and toys floating in ruin. Firefighters are there, neighbors gawking, and Officer Daniels from the nail incident approaches. Looks targeted, he says, eyeing me. I'm shaking, rage and grief colliding. The daycare's heart is soaked, and parents will panic. I know it's Karen. Across the street, her house is dark, but I feel her watching, gloating. The danger hits harder when Daniels shows me a gas can near the brick, half empty, the acrid stench stinging my nose. Could have been worse, he mutters. My blood runs cold. She didn't just vandalize, she risked a fire with kids' lives at stake tomorrow. Parents arrive, summoned by the noise, their faces pale. Maria grips my arm, whispering, "We'll rebuild." But I'm spiraling, picturing Lily, the kids trapped in flames. This isn't a prank. It's attempted murder. That's my moment of change. I realize revenge isn't enough. I need justice, not just for me, but for everyone she's endangered. I'm not just a warrior. I'm a protector. I tell Daniels about the emails, the footage, Karen's history. He nods, promising a deeper investigation. I call Carla, my voice steel, file everything. Now. As dawn breaks, I stand in the wrecked daycare, water dripping, and vow to rebuild. Karen's gone too far, and I'm not running. Her house looms a silent threat, but I'm the storm now, and I'm about to break her. The daycare's flooded ruins glint under the morning sun, water pooling around shattered glass and sodden toys, a brutal reminder of Karen's brick and gasoline attack last night. I'm standing in the wreckage, my boots squelching, the smell of damp carpet and gasoline burning my nose. Parents are here, helping clean their faces, grim but resolute, while Lily clings to my hand, her eyes wide with fear. Karen's crossed a line. Her vandalism wasn't just an assault on my dream. It was a threat to every child in this building. The police are investigating, but I'm done waiting for justice to limp along. Today, I'm making a bold move to end this war, forcing a community reckoning that'll either save Sunflower Daycare or burn us all down. The past hours have been a crucible. After the attack, I spent the night with Carla, my lawyer, drafting an emergency injunction against the HOA's shutdown order, citing Karen's bribery and violence. Tom leaked the emails to a local news blog, and the stories spreading. Neighbors are texting, furious at Karen and Ron. But Karen's not cowering. This morning, she posted on the neighborhood app claiming I staged the vandalism to play victim. A few diehards believe her, and their glares sting as I haul debris. The daycare's closed today, parents scrambling for backup care, and I'm losing ground. Lily's question last night? Will we lose our home? Haunts me. I'm fighting for her, for us, and I'm running out of time. The conflict erupts at noon when I call a community showdown in the cul-de-sac. I'm done with HOA meetings and their rigged rules. Maria and Tom help spread the word. And by 12:30, the streets packed, neighbors' parents, even reporters from the blog cameras rolling. I stand on my lawn, a megaphone in hand, the air thick with tension and the faint whiff of gasoline still lingering. Karen's on her porch, arms crossed, Greg beside her, her face a mask of defiance. I raise the megaphone, my voice booming. Karen tried to destroy my daycare, endangered our kids, and bribed the HOA to silence me. I hold up the emails, the nail footage photos of the brick. The crowd murmurs, some cheering, others whispering. I point at Karen. "You're not our queen. You're a coward," she snaps, charging across her lawn, screaming, "You're a liar." The crowd parts, reporters zooming in. I don't flinch. "Then explain the gas can, the nails, the money to Ron." She falters, her eyes darting but doubles down, turning to the crowd. "She's unstable. She'll hurt your kids." That's when Maria steps forward, holding the petition now with 70 signatures. "We're done with you, Karen." Parents shout agreement, and I see it, her grip slipping. But she's desperate, and that's dangerous. My climactic action is a gamble. I announce I'm suing Karen for defamation and vandalism, and I'm demanding a state investigation into the HOA. I nod to Carla, who's here serving papers to Karen in front of everyone. The crowd roars, cameras flashing as Karen snatches the papers, her face ashen. "You'll pay for this," she hisses, but her voice shakes. "I've turned her lies into a public trial, and the neighborhood's my jury." Reporters swarm her, asking about the emails, the gas can. She flees inside, Greg trailing, and I feel the shift. She's not untouchable anymore. The blowback is immediate and terrifying. At 3 p.m., I'm back at the daycare coordinating repairs when sirens blare. A police car screeches up, Daniel's leaping out. "We found a pipe bomb in Karen's garage," he says, his voice low. My heart stops. It's crude but real. "We think it was meant for you." The world tilts. Parents gasp, pulling kids close. I'm frozen, picturing Lily, the daycare in flames. Daniel says Karen's in custody. Greg too, but the threat's real. She's unhinged, willing to kill. The crowd's with me, but fear ripples. Maria grips my arm. "You did this. You exposed her." That's my moment of change. I realize this war's cost my safety, my peace, maybe my life. But I'm not just a victim. I'm a catalyst. I force the truth out and the community's awake. I hug Lily, my voice steady. We're safe now. I don't know if it's true, but I believe it. The daycare's a wreck, but it's still standing, and so am I. Karen's house is cordoned off, police lights flashing, a tomb of her own making. I've ended her reign, but the scars are deep and the fight's not over. Not yet. The cul-de-sac is eerily quiet tonight, the police tape around Karen's house fluttering in the breeze, a grim banner of her defeat. I'm on my porch, the air sharp with the scent of wet grass and fading gasoline, my body aching from days of cleaning the daycare's wreckage. The pipe bomb in her garage, meant for me, for us, still haunts my thoughts, its shadow lingering in Lily's nervous glances. Karen and Greg are in custody, their reign of terror shattered by my public stand and the community's awakening. Sunflower. Daycare's doors are locked, repairs ongoing. But I've won. Her words. Your kind ruins property value are dust now buried under my triumph. Yet as I sit here, the scars of this war weigh heavy, and I'm grappling with what victory really costs. The past days have been a whirlwind of aftermath. The news blog's story went viral headlines screaming neighborhood nightmare bribery bombs and a daycare's defiance. Reporters camp outside, but I've stayed quiet, letting Carla handle the press. The HOA's under state investigation. Ron's resigned, and the shutdown order's been lifted. Parents are clamoring to re-enroll Maria, leading a fundraiser to rebuild. Tom's a hero, his leaked emails the spark that lit the fire. But Karen's final act? The bomb has left us shaken. Daniels called yesterday confirming it was hers, built with Greg's tools. They're facing felony charges, vandalism, attempted arson, even terrorism. She's gone, but her hate lingers a ghost in my dreams. The conflict is internal now, a battle with my own heart. I'm in the daycare's gutted community room, the walls streaked with water damage helping Maria sort donated supplies. The air smells of mildew and hope, a strange mix. I'm proud my stand forced a reckoning, saved our community, but I'm hollowed out. Every creak makes me jump, expecting Karen's next attack, even though she's behind bars. Lily's quieter, drawing sunflowers, but asking will she come back? I don't know how to answer. I fought for justice, but I didn't expect this cost my peace, my daughter's trust in the world. My climactic action is quiet, but resolute. I call a final parent meeting, not in the cul-de-sac, but in my home, the kitchen warm with coffee and candlelight. 20 parents cram in their faces, soft with gratitude. I stand, my voice raw. We're reopening in 2 weeks, I say, holding up a new sign, Sunflower Daycare, stronger than ever. They cheer, but I raise a hand. This wasn't just about me. It was about us standing up to bullies. I share my truth, the fear, the rage, the nights I nearly broke. They nod, some crying, Maria squeezing my shoulder. I'm not just rebuilding a daycare. I'm rebuilding trust for them, for Lily, for me. It's my final stand, not against Karen, but against despair. The blowback is subtle, a personal reckoning. As parents leave, I'm alone washing mugs, the sinks gurgle a soft rhythm. I think of Mom's roses hacked by Karen and realize I've grown my own garden resilience, community defiance. But I see the toll, my savings gone, my nerves frayed, Lily's innocence bruised. Victory's bitter, laced with loss. I could have moved, avoided this war, but I didn't. I chose to fight, and that choice, painful as it is, makes me whole. That's my moment of change. I'm not just a survivor. I'm a builder. I step outside the stars, sharp above, and look at Karen's empty house. It's over. I've won, not by destroying her, but by creating something she couldn't touch. Lily joins me, slipping her hand in mine. We're okay, right? She asks. I nod, tears falling. Better than okay. The daycare's lights glow across the lawn, a beacon. Karen's gone, and I'm still here, stronger, scarred, but unbroken. I'm sitting on my porch now, the night soft around me, the cul-de-sac finally at peace. The war with Karen feels like a lifetime ago, though. The scars, emotional, financial, even physical, still ache. I think about the cost, sleepless nights, Lily's fear, the savings I poured into Sunflower Daycare. But I also see what I gained, a community that stood with me, a daughter who sees her mom as a fighter, a strength I didn't know I had. This wasn't just about revenge. It was about dignity, about refusing to let hate define my home. I fought not because I wanted to, but because I had to, for Lily, for the kids, for every neighbor Karen bullied. If you're dealing with someone toxic next door, please believe me, you're not crazy and you're not alone. You don't have to win like I did with lawsuits and showdowns. Sometimes standing up is enough, saying, "This is my home and I belong here." I'm rebuilding now, one day at a time, and every laugh from the daycare, every sunflower Lily draws, reminds me why it was worth it. I'm not the woman who nodded at Karen's insults anymore. I'm the woman who built an empire next door, and no one can take that away.